Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF race of the day for Friday, June the 17th. It's race number 6 at Penn National. It's the $100,000 Chocolate Town Stakes. We're going 3/4 of a mile. This race is part of the Mid-Atlantic Thoroughbred Championship Series, and we're going to take a look at this field. Please scan the QR code for race of the day access on your mobile devices. You can view free formulator past performances for this race on the race of the day event page at drf.com. Take a peek, handicap along with me. When you've made your final determinations, you can play this race and the nice card at Penn National on Friday evening with your DRF Bets account. The story of this race is the horse on the outside. That's the number 11, New York Traffic. You remember him. He just missed by a nose in the 2020 Haskell to Authentic, who ended up being Horse of the Year. He ran in the Kentucky Derby. He ran in the Preakness that year. And it just seems like turning back in distance for trainer Safi Joseph has worked wonders for him. He has the outside post. He has good tactical speed. He's probably going to find a decent spot. And we'll see where Timeform US places him on their pace projector. They've got him up close to the pace. Now, you'll note the red bar scenario. Expecting a fast pace up front. Pictor, the number 10, is quick out of the stalls. But Pictor also showed a new dimension last time out by rallying from off of the pace. Personally, I believe the number 2, Baron, is the horse they're all going to have to catch, making his second start of the layoff for Butch Reed, because that horse's game is speed. We'll talk about the number 1, No Sense. This is a horse who was one of the better 2-year-olds in the region in 2020. Now, unfortunately, No Sense must have had something gone physically awry, because he was away for a year and a half before this start. The Riley Handicap at Monmouth for New Jersey breds. First start off the long layoff. This horse ran just fine, finishing second, finishing ahead of 2 next out winners. The 4th place finisher coming back to win at Parks, an allowance race with a 95 Beyers speed figure. No Sense is now listed as a gelding for the first time, and while he must improve a little bit from a Beyers standpoint, he's so lightly raced that's not out of the question. 6 starts, 4 wins, 2 runner-up efforts, a good trainer in Cal Lynch. No Sense does have some upside potential and a hint of tactical speed. The number 2 is Baron, and you can check trainer Butch Reed's statistics at Penn National. He means business when he goes down to Penn. I believe he's something like 6 for his last 11. And Baron, of course, has won at Penn National in the past. Let's watch his most recent race. This is his first start of the year, and he had to go 7/8 of a mile in the Page McKenney for Pennsylvania breds. He did show good speed in this race. Now, the horse he was battling with is outside of him, For the Love of Bourbon. For the Love of Bourbon always seemed to be traveling better than Baron, but as you see, Baron is asserting his class in the stretch. He's trying very hard, and he just falls a little bit shy. The 3rd place horse would come back to run second in an allowance at Parks with a 94 Beyers speed figure. Baron is fast. The second start of the form cycle really should help Baron. I think that last race helped him from a fitness standpoint. I like him cutting back to 6 furlongs. I think that's probably his best game, and Baron, I believe, is going to be on the lead and is a very strong contender. The number 3 is Don't Mesa with Me, who didn't run very well last time out at Charlestown, but maybe we could find a few excuses. One of them being, it was a very speed-favoring track at Charlestown that day. This horse just fell far behind a slow pace set by a gate-to-wire winner. Now, he didn't do any running as the favorite, and that's the thing that worries me the most. I'd like to at least have seen him done something against the bias. He didn't do much. The 3rd place finisher would come back to run 3rd in a $50,000 off-the-turf claimer at Delaware with a 74 Beyer. To me, this horse might need a little bit of a pace collapse. If the Timeform US pace projector is correct, the pace could be fast, and he could be running late. Tyler Connor, the leading rider at Penn National, takes them out. The number 4 is Sir Alfred James, who's certainly a contender in this race. Just take a look at his last 2 races. 2 starts back at Churchill Downs. He was the horse that went after superstar Jackie's Warrior in the early portion of the Grade 1 Churchill Downs Stakes, and he paid the price, but he still ran pretty well to be 4th of 7. Last time out in the Maryland Sprint, it was a race again over a speed-favoring track at Pimlico. Jackson Traveler controlled the pace throughout, and Sir Alfred James just tried to rally from off the pace in vain, and there wasn't a lot of pace on for Sir Alfred James. He's getting Lasix once again. I talked to trainer Lynn Cash earlier this week, and he's happy that Sir Alfred James has had about a month between races, because this is a horse that's run 10 times already this year, often on very short rest. He feels that Sir Alfred James might flourish with a little bit more time in between races, and that's what he's getting coming into this spot. Studio B is the number 5. We'll watch his last race. Now, he was entered for the $25,000 claiming option at Penn National on May the 21st. He makes the lead in the stretch. He's going to finish second. Not sure this was the strongest field in the world, but you can't knock the record at Penn National. 16 starts, 8 wins. He likes the home cooking here at Penn. Whether he's good enough to beat a field of this caliber is a different story. Threes Over Deuces is the number 6, and Threes Over Deuces just finished second in the aforementioned Maryland Sprint, a race we'll show you right now. A race won by Jackson Traveler, who made the lead over a speed-favoring track and set moderate fractions. Threes Over Deuces ran just fine to be second. Unfortunately, it's kind of been the story of his career. 14 seconds, 9/3. He probably has a little bit of hang in him. When you go through his Formulator lifetime past performances, you know when he wins, he doesn't win by much. So it's up to young Maclovio Enriquez Jr. to time this just right, but Threes Over Deuces might benefit from a solid pace up front, and he seems to be in good form. 2 starts back in the Frank Whiteley, going 7 furlongs, in between horses trip, got to the outside, just missed second at the very end. I think he's in sneaky good form for trainer Gary Capuano. 7 is Exculpatory, who popped a triple-digit Beyer speed figure 2 starts back at Charlestown, going a 2-turn 7 furlongs. Now, that day, August the 27th at Charlestown, was one of those very inside speed-favoring tracks, and maybe Exculpatory's big performance was due partially to the fact that he made the lead, he made the rail. But this is also a horse that's shown a lot of ability in his career. They kind of threw him to the wolves after that race. They ran him in the Grade 3 ACAC at Churchill Downs against the likes of Plainsman, a horse that came back to place in his next 5 graded stakes events. 3rd in the Bold Ruler with a 92 Beyer, 3rd in the Grade 1 Cigar with a 99 Beyer. In his 2 subsequent starts, he was just overmatched, especially without Lasix that day. Now, reportedly, he underwent surgery after that race, which is the reason for the layoff. His previous trainer, Mark Reed, recently retired. He's now with Jackie Savoy. Jackie Savoy said that Carol Cedeno worked him the other day, and it was a pretty fast 5/8 of a mile work. Carol says he's ready. We'll see if Exculpatory is ready off of the layoff against this tough field. I think this horse has a lot of potential, maybe even to go a little longer distance down the road. Jump Master is the number 8, very sharp right now. Let's watch this horse's last race. It's a gate-to-wire performance at Penn National, where he's won 9 of 15 lifetime starts. He was able to get to the front. He was able to just blow this field away. They could not keep up with him, and he earned a respectable 85 Beyer speed figure. Now, will he have to do better? Absolutely. As he steps up in class, he's also going to probably face some more fast horses from a pace perspective than what he's used to, but he's won 4 of 5 since being gelded and turned over to trainer Bruce Kravitz. Don't want to ignore him completely. Lost in New York is the number 9. Let's watch his last race at Penn National. This horse is 4 for 4 at Penn National. He's won his last 4 starts. Now, he is a 3-year-old, taking on older horses, but I like his tactical speed. We see him winning this state-bred allowance race last time out. First race off the short layoff. Only got a 75 Beyer. The 6th-place finisher would come back and run second in a $50,000 non-winners of 2 life at Delaware with a 76. This is a giant step up in class. The horse seems to be improving, but he's a big price, and deservedly so, considering the quality of competition he's going to be facing. Pictor, the number 10, 11 for 18, lifetime at Penn National, claimed for $4,000 in early 2021. I believe he's won 8 races for these connections, including this effort at Penn. On paper, Pictor was expected to be the lone speed in this race, and well, Pictor decided to come from off of it. He proved he can come from off of it. He was just better than these $5,000 starter allowance foes. He was 1-2 and 1 like it. Only a 77 Beyer, but look at the race 3 starts back. The last time he stepped at Penn National, this horse won by 11, with a 97 Beyer speed figure when he went to the lead. Timeform US believes he's fast enough to get to the lead. It'll be interesting to see if that's the way the connections want to play it, with a fast horse like Barron breaking to the inside. New York Traffic is the number 11. Let's watch his last race against New York Reds and the affirmed success. And this horse's last 3 sprint races have all resulted in big victories. When I talked to Safi Joseph, he believes the horse has gotten better since turning back in distance, but he also believes running against New York Reds helps. New York Traffic was really urged out of the gate to make the lead in this short field in the affirmed success, and he just keeps on going. 100 Beyer speed figure. He's earned 3 triple-digit Beyers in his career. He was going to run in the Commentator at the end of May, and that race didn't fill. So Safi Joseph had to scramble a little bit to find a spot. This is plan B. He draws the outside. I don't think that's going to bother him at all with his tactical speed and his ability to win at 6 furlongs, which I think was a little bit of a question for Safi. You might like him a little better at 7, 7.5 type. He's the horse to beat based on his current form. Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel. All the latest DRFTV video offerings. We're going to go to my top pick in here. I respect New York Traffic. I respect Barron. I want to get a price in here. I think there's a chance that this pace heats up. I want to see what Threes Over Deuces can do. Lacks a winning profile with more seconds and thirds on his page, but I think the price is going to be there in this race. We'll see what New York Traffic can do. He's going to be a heavy favorite, and deservedly so. Barron is dangerous. He's run some very fast races, especially when he gets alone on the lead. We'll see if 3's Over Deuces can pull off an upset in the Chocolate Town. It's our DRF race of the day for Friday. Good luck.